Hello. Did you know that queer people exist and have existed as long as humans have been around? Yet for most of history, they have been overlooked, silenced, and oppressed to the extent that even queer representation today makes most people go, what are these strange new concepts I need to learn to refamiliarize myself with the world? Well, fortunately, while queerness is neither new nor strange, we at The Mesh are here to help you understand. This video series is a curation of unique experiences and stories, as told by those who live these stories themselves. Welcome to Diaries, where we talk to members of the LGBTQ community about their hobbies, their interests, and their passions. Today we have with us a very special guest and a dear friend, Bratadipto. And we also have our ices to help us beat the Kolkata heat. Not going to name the brand until they sponsor us, though. Okay, Prato, tell us a little about yourself.
Yeah, hi, my name is Bratadipto, which you all definitely know by now. And the fun fact is, I am a peer of Abhishek. We are enrolled in the same university. And yeah, it's been great like collaborating with him in this episode of Queer Diaries. And yeah, also like as you all like must have seen the promotional poster and everything, I also host a podcast of mine where I talk about the tussles I have with my mind. Because like, see, me being a guest uh, is the main thing behind bringing me as a guest is that I am very much expressive about many different things, which you all will understand as the episode progresses. And yeah, that's what I want to say about myself for the initial part. But the questions will follow up, and you can just understand more. So yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. As you mentioned, we are enrolled in the same program. So, how how is being a student of journalism treating you?
Ah, to be honest, it's very much exhausting. It's really like, as you firstly mentioned, the Kolkata heat. Now I am used to the city for 4 years, and I am also used to mass communication as a course because initially I studied at St. Xavier's College before this. So I was enrolled in mass communication itself in Kolkata. Now again, see, journalism is something I think which is risky, and I wanted to take this risk in my life. Because I think I question the standards regularly, and I think like I can add up something to that at least. Maybe not as particularly being a journalist, but like in some fashion. And but as a student, as you said, it's really exhausting.
It is, it is. And as you
Yeah.
mentioned, like being a journalist is not the only way to make a difference in the world of journalism, of course. So you have been a student of journalism throughout your higher education, first at St. Xavier's and now in Jadavpur. Fantastic. So you're someone whose sense of aesthetics I've always admired, and most people would describe it as unconventional. Do you think of yourself as someone who rejects conventions?
See, I think this is the difference I seek to make. Like as you mentioned, when they have complimented me, like for my aesthetics or for how I look or for how I present myself, they have always said that I am unconventionally beautiful. But I don't think it should be treated like that. Okay, if you see someone as handsome, beautiful, these adjectives, that's fine. You are complimenting someone, that's great. It's good to hear. But like, I don't think it's unconventional. I know currently the standards which are set, you will portray that as unconventional, but I want to like make the difference from conventions to unconvention. I want to like bridge the gap. So
Right.
that's what I intend to do. Yeah.
Right. And the problem with something being unconventionally attractive is that that means that there is a convention, and
Yeah.
obviously there is a problem with that. There should not be a convention. There should not be a certain way that people should be expected to be, right? I think you would
Yeah.
agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, like, see, when people criticize your way of presenting yourself, okay, that's fine. Like, I think when people say good things about you, how you portray yourself, that's good to hear. But again, there will be the other way around too, and I'm totally fine with that. But like it being different, or it being not enough masculine, or it being not enough fitting with the conventions, okay, that is kind of weird. I feel like, who set
Yeah.
the conventions? In the end, we are the people who set the conventions.
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
think we can easily change that too. Well, like, everything changes with time. The
Hmm.
technology changed with time. Okay, we didn't have, like, you and me connecting over a video call. Okay, was something impossible 50 years back. But now
Yeah.
it's a bread and butter thing. So I think,
Exactly.
like implementing these kind of new things, and like not telling that it's unconventional, is what I think we all should seek right now. And I think what I intend is to contribute to that, from my capacities. I know that I can't do much, but from my capacity, by bringing in certain changes in myself. Obviously, as you ask more questions, I will say how I have done that. But yeah, that's the whole point. Like, I can contribute to breaking these so-called conventions in my capacity.
Yeah. And it's also funny that conventions keep changing from time to time. So why have conventions at all?
See, what you are talking about, it's like, I think it's utopian, because
Yeah. Yeah.
there will be conventions.
There will be conventions, of course.
Yeah, yeah. Like, we are setting these conventions after 100 years. Our
Hmm.
things will be nullified totally. Okay, it will be like gone, shed to dust completely. So, and that's normal. Okay, and I am totally okay with that. We all should be. But I think the main thing when you are talking about conventions, what I believe is nostalgia hits a main part. Like, you
Hmm.
think, okay, this has come over the generations, or you associate a huge cultural value with that. Okay, so that you can't get away from that, or getting away from that means something which is maybe irreligious for the religious people, maybe uh, a cultural blasphemy for people who are close to culture, and have different associations like this. So I think that we should not associate. We should not very much associate ourselves. Like, okay, we are bringing in new conventions, but that doesn't mean that we will not be open to changes. Of course, after 50 years, someone will bring a change, and we have to
Yeah.
accept that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We have had conversations about the struggles you faced because of how you present yourself. Would you like to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, see, I will just start it uh, from the initial stages. I think everything started when I grew my hair. Okay, now when you see me, I have short hair. But the main problem, or uh, associating me with a particular community, etc., whatever you can say, started when I grew my hair, and that was, I think, in 2020. Okay. Before that, I was like treated as a normal man. Okay. Sometimes, like, I initially had low beard growth, so that was a joking point for some. But okay, that was like, I was never bullied for that. If I go back to bullying, it was mainly for my weight. I was very much like overweight at one point, so that was the bully point in school, or and all that. But the main thing, the main associating my gender or sexuality with something started when I grew my hair. Okay, so it was back in 2020. Okay, like, we had the lockdown, and
Oh, I
I
grew
could
my
have cut.
hair. I grew my hair out around the same time.
Mhm.
We
So
both had long
basically,
hair
I
at the
think
same time. Yeah.
basically during lockdown, we all,
Yeah.
like, we could have grew our hair. Many people
Yeah.
didn't,
Hmm.
because yeah, I think many people didn't, because you can also associate the toxic masculinity with that. I feel like
Absolutely.
so, because
Absolutely.
when they were seeing that my hair is growing, Okay, it's like girly. I don't know what's girly about growing your hair. You can have big hair, that doesn't matter. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, like that's a different part of the story. Let me go to the struggles or what actually happened in the beginning.
Right.
So when I like went outside, some people like randomly told that, oh, this is a girl walking down the streets. Okay. And yeah, I always prefer keeping clean shave. So that actually served their agenda at that point. Okay, they just associated me with like being of a particular sexuality, and like the main thing is people don't have right notions of sexuality, and they just like
Mm.
throw a term which they even don't know what means.
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, like the I had to hear that I am a transgender. I had to hear that I am bisexual, of course, which people still say for many reasons. And I had to hear that I'm gay. Yeah, these are the terms I had to hear. And basically, see, I'm not being disrespectful to anyone, but when this happened in the stores or in the streets, okay, I still could take it because let's be honest, we are like higher, we are pursuing higher education, we are educated. So someone from the stores, with all due respect, they you expect they will not be that much matured when it comes to the new conventions or stuff. Okay. But when this started from people in your vicinity, like let's consider people from your class, maybe like class in the sense like I'm talking
College.
about the
College.
education. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, not. So when it started from that place, and also the best part I think is that my family never told anything wrong to me. Okay,
Mm.
like whenever like other people, I think like I really love this support from my family, because other people like my close relatives or my family friends, they also told certain things that okay, this doesn't look good on you, you look like a girl, why this long hair, uh, whom did you take inspiration from, all these things came. But my family like just like the bare minimum they could have done is that just laugh it off, that's max. Like they can't do moral policing to their friends, of course. Okay, but they just laughed it off, and they never uh, told anything related to that to me. Rather, they supported. Like I'm totally being honest. I got the piercing around that time only. Okay, and I told my mother, and she actually got me the piercing. So that was really being supportive because and okay, before I think it was in your questions list, but before you can actually proceed with your question list, I can say one thing that initially I was not doing this thing like growing my hair for making a statement. Initially, it was just like I do believe in YOLO. I do believe in that philosophy of you only live once. So I wanted to try that. Okay,
Right.
but later on, with time, I wanted to be a rebel against these kind of people in the society who think that okay,
Right.
growing a hair makes you a woman. And like how is that so easy becoming a woman? They don't know what being a woman is, what a big struggle that is, and they're just associating small things with being a woman or wearing something floral. Okay, let's come to that later. But
Mm.
yeah, that's the whole point. Like when these kind of things came, I thought I have to be a rebel. Like, and that's why getting the piercing and wearing different kind of clothes that actually followed up. Initially, I wore very normal clothes. Okay, I never wore bright colors. I was like a proper masculine uh, role model. Okay, at that point. So, but after that, when I had to, I think I can say this is my way of protesting, my way of bringing the change. And I think I have been successful in bringing that in the people around me, because I will also share an example here. Like, if you are okay with me not exaggerating or me speaking too much, just like give me a heads up if I'm like,
Oh, no, no, no. Go on.
yeah, okay. So basically, what happened? There was someone in my vicinity. I also told this in my podcast. Okay, someone very close to me, my family friends, their son. Okay, he's like 4 years older than me. So initially, he also used to shame me, okay, due to my choices, okay, which are supposedly unmanly, okay. Maybe sports is the only choice which is very much manly in me. Otherwise, I have very much unmanly choices according to the society. So he used to troll me, but then I actually wrote about stuff in social media, and most importantly, made a podcast. I think all people close to me listen to my podcast. So when I'm pretty sure that he also listened to that, because suddenly after like a month or 2 months, his attitude totally changed. Like when his family also was kind of like trolling me for having certain unmanly choices or stuff, he stood, he stood backing me. So
That's
of
great.
course, I think, yeah, that's actually like these kind of things are what I seek, to be honest. Okay, because if I can make this small impact, I know I can't impact the world. Okay, but I can impact my world, the small world which is around me.
Yeah,
If I can do that, I think I won the battle. I won at least
yeah.
half the battle.
You
So
can't
that was
carpet the world, but you can put on shoes.
yeah, absolutely. I think that moment was a very groundbreaking moment. When I understood that no, I am making an impact. I can at least somewhat. I'm making an impact.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Also, coming back to the point you made earlier about the different things people called you because you had long hair, it's very I find it very ironic that bigotry is so hypocritical that if a guy has long hair, they'll call him a woman. But if a trans woman grows her hair out, they will say that, oh no, you're not a real woman, you will never be a woman.
This, that's true. That's like I have nothing to say about that. This is our society. This is what
Yeah,
you see here. Yeah, this is like it's funny. It's actually
yeah.
funny because um, I
It's
think
both funny and sad at the same time.
yeah, absolutely. Like we are basically bearing the plants of the seeds which have been um, sown for so long, and
Yeah.
I think when you try to bring a change, people will criticize. When you try to say, when you main thing is that when you question these people that why are you doing this? Why do you think this is wrong? They're not up for arguments. They're not
Hmm.
up for discussion. Okay, if someone questions me, okay, you are saying this. I think this is wrong. I will at least participate in a discussion. We will have a heated debate, and it's not about winning or losing. It's about learning. But
Yeah.
these people, when you like think that is a blasphemy, a cultural blasphemy, or
Yeah.
if you associate religion with it, then irreligious or whatever, then it's just like you are with your notions. You can't change.
Yeah.
And that's the saddest part of it.
At that point, you're just blindfolded. It's just dogmatic.
Yeah, exactly.
On a more personal front, you recently got out of a relationship where you mentioned you felt limited, including being forced to conform to heteronormativity at times. Now that you're out of that situation, how do you feel?
I think, see, I don't want to blame a particular person for this. Because I've always believed in the uh, mantra of like hate the sin and not the sinner. Okay, so I think this is the sin. This is like if you think like see, I think my girlfriend or any other person who is criticizing this, it's he or she is just a victim of what has happened over a long period of time.
Yeah.
Okay, so from a personal note, like if you ask for examples, what has exactly happened, I can give you a very big example. Like, like Barbie released few days back. Okay, and I went to watch Barbie with a few of my friends. Okay, and all of them were women. Now you can expect your girlfriend to have problem when you go out with women, but you don't expect her to have problems when you dress up in a particular manner. Okay,
Right.
that's like that's really sad. And like I wore a pink shirt. Okay, she was okay with that. I'm just giving a personal example right now. I will make the gross statement after this. Um, And then I wore a t-shirt and I wore tie and dye pants, which are like one of my favorite outfits to express myself. So I had to hear that I look like a gay club stripper. Okay. I'm just like telling the exact statement.
From your partner.
Yeah, from my partner.
Oh.
And I think that, I mean, I am like smiling right now, but I think it was, what can I
No,
say?
I can
Like, it,
imagine these things, like people don't realize the impact that words have on them. It's
yeah, like this was very disrespectful to me and I think to the entire gay community, if you can consider. It's not just
yeah,
about me. I am like, I'm just a small person. Okay, you are telling me something. I am not that much sensitive. Also, I will not take it. Okay, later on, though it hurt me, to be honest. At
yeah.
that point, I just joked it off or something. But later on, it definitely did hurt me
Hmm.
because I don't know why will you say something like that. You should just,
Exactly.
and especially to your partner or someone who is supposedly one of the most closest people to you.
Hmm.
Okay, so why will you say things like that to him or
Hmm.
her in any case? So that was very disrespectful. And other than this, I think always my partner had a problem with like me wearing outfits. I think that was her main problem. Okay,
Hmm.
and I think I also have a very uh, good leopard print shirt. Okay,
Hmm.
so like I don't have a particular problem with that. It but I tried to like sell it. Okay, because of two things. Okay, I doubted its quality. That's one thing, but that is still manageable. But secondly, because I think I was constantly said that no, this is unmanly. This is a bogus shirt. This is a very what can I say? Like all these things. Like I don't even recall everything, but she just disliked that, and I think imposing your taste on anyone is bad. But that is a total different discussion. But thinking that it's unmanly or at the first place thinking it's weird is the most
Hmm.
big problem, I think. Like when you're talking
Yeah.
about conventions, initially we started the discussion with conventions, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So maybe like it's unconventional, but why is it unconventional at the first place?
Exactly.
So yeah. Okay, when we were talking about like when we are talking about the relationship, I can also give an example. Another example. So my partner took away all my scrunchies, okay, and the eyeliner. Okay, I also used to use eyeliner on my eyes because I thought that will make it beautiful,
Hmm.
and scrunchies and some bangles. Okay, so she took away all those things. Now that's very normal for your partners to take away your things and wear them. But basically, what she did was she burned them. Okay,
She burned them.
yeah, burned them.
That is extremely excessive.
Um, yeah, like if someone takes that from me, wears that, keep that to themselves, that's still fine. But like burning them and
That's straight to me.
I want
Straight
to
up
ask
sounds
you,
like
like, I know you are
that.
asking me questions right now, but I want to ask you, like, why do you think someone will do something like this?
Okay, look, to me it sounds straight up like abuse. Like if a man, I'm not someone who generally uses the line of reasoning key, oh, if the genders were reversed, it would be this, that. But in this specific case, if you had taken things that belonged to her and destroyed them, that would have been completely unacceptable. It would People would have immediately said that it's abuse, it's a toxic relationship. And I'm pretty sure your friends must have, if your friends found out, I'm pretty sure they must have told you that that's absolutely unacceptable.
Yeah, that is like, I think most of my close friends know about things which have happened to me in the last few months, like in this particular discussion aspect, because honestly speaking, on other aspects, I was really like happy. I had a good relationship, to be honest. But I think this is a major thing.
Hmm.
Let's be fair. Like this is a major respect. If you can't
Absolutely.
respect your partner's choices,
Hmm.
then why are you dating him at the first place?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the thing. And I think this particular thing of my accessories being burned, I think i I'm telling this for the first time. Probably I have not told this to anyone. So yeah, thanks to your show and thanks to this episode, I could like open up more about the thing. So yeah. And yeah, I also had to face things like when I wore certain things which my partner didn't like. I had to change change my outfit. Okay, or like if I just stick to wearing that, then she didn't talk to me. Okay, things like these. So that was really like, I think that is my whole point is, okay, like, see, I can't change everyone. Okay, but if you can't accept this, then please don't be with me. Like, that
That
doesn't make
that
any sense.
sounds like emotional abuse.
Yeah, I think the only abuse I felt was emotional abuse, because otherwise it was fine.
Yeah.
I think this was a major point. It was a big point. Just
I'm glad you can talk to us about it, and I'm glad you're out of the situation, and I'm really sorry you had to go through all that.
yeah, I think that's really sad. See, I was some time back, I was just telling that, okay, I impacted this person, that person. But when you can't impact people who are really close to you, then that doesn't make any sense. Like, as I said, my parents, okay, maybe they didn't listen to my podcast very often, they just listened to 1 or 2 episodes, but I had conversations with them about this aspect, and they understood everything. They like supported me. Okay, they never like, when I had to buy something which was supposedly breaking the conventions, they always supported me. Like, they brought it for me. And my parents got me the hair bands, sometimes those different kind of bangles. Okay, because they know that I love to wear them, and I think that's really cool. Okay, and I think that should not be a problem. The conventions we have set for a period of time were set by us, and we are the ones who can break that. And I think that's really demotivating. If I see people around me not not being open about this, and it really like hurts you a lot. Really hurts you, and I think like you can understand that it. With the tone of my voice right now, that it really hurt me over a period of time, and that's why I'm speaking like
Yeah,
this.
of
Also,
course.
like the more I talk about this, I remember things. So when I was talking about my relationship at the very initial stage, uh, we had a fashion show. Okay, so I really wanted to be a part of the fashion show, because I think you have seen me, like, whenever fashion walks and all these things come, I'm very
Yeah,
much excited.
yeah.
Even if people don't want to participate, I just like tell them, okay, a cosplay or a fashion show, just let's
Hmm.
go for it. Okay. So I was stopped from participating in a fashion show also, by my partner. So yeah, because I had to put on makeup and stuff. So
Right. Um, Continuing about the subject at hand, finally, when you got out of that situation, you must have felt relief and catharsis, but you are probably still going through the healing process. So, how is that treating you?
see, I think the main thing is, if you are with someone, like in the past few months, when I was with someone who absolutely rejects all these choices, okay, that impacts your choices to some extent too. Okay. So
Hmm.
I know currently that I would love to be more expressive. Okay,
Hmm.
but like I'm kind of afraid. Okay, because the standards I set for myself, the expressiveness standards, the dressing, etc. Okay, I'm right now I was questioning myself for a period of time, like the past few months. Okay, so the healing here is actually not questioning myself and being accepting with that again. Though I know that what I have been doing for the past few months is wrong. I straight up think it's wrong. I don't care who thinks what, but I think uh, losing yourself is the worst thing you can do. Okay. When I believe in a particular way, nobody should like impact me, because I'm an individual. And if I'm not doing anything illegal, I'm very much confident. with that. Okay, if I'm like wearing a sari right now, I'm okay with that. I am very much comfortable wearing a sari. Okay, because I love that. And it's not just made for women. Who made it for women? The
Yeah.
society made it. So why can't men wear it? Why can't like men who even identify themselves as men? Okay, why can't they wear it?
Clothes have no
Yes,
gender.
yeah, clothes have no gender. You can just wear anything. Like right now, if a we know that women have also wore many clothes which have been like jeans. Jeans was firstly made
Yeah,
for men.
yeah.
Yeah, it's the most common thing, and now every woman wears it.
Yeah.
So like you can't particularly associate a gender with a cloth, okay, or an outfit. Think my healing process is all about believing that more and getting back that confidence more. I'm doing well. I'm doing fast, and I think like I can uh, come out with even better ideas of outfits and better combinations in a uh, quick time. To be honest, yeah,
Yeah, I'm excited to see what new aesthetics you come up with.
yeah, of course.
All right. So walk us through a day in your life. Has your routine changed in any significant way over the last few years?
Uh, Pardon, last few years or months? What do you mean?
Last few years.
Last few years. Okay. So I think as I mentioned. See, past few years, when you see, I initially lived with my parents at my home, like in Durgapur. I'm actually from Durgapur.
Right.
So, till 2019, I never went out from my home. I was a person who just stayed at his home, like, and loved that actually. But then later, with time, I explored other things. I went out, okay, and yeah, it was like the main change is that I know now what are my limits, and actually there are no limits for me. I can explore everything, and I do explore everything every day. Like the hardest part for me is to sit at a place, okay, and that I understood after coming out from my home. Okay, initially I thought, okay, I can like sit at a place, be lazy and all that. But it's the toughest thing for me. I just can't stick to a place for a long period of time. I can't sit for 5 minutes. Okay. I know that's bad in one form, but again, that's good also because that can help you to be active. So that's the biggest change I think which has happened over the last 3 4 years. Apart from that, when I come to this aspect particularly, as I said, when I grew my hair, all those trolls and negativity surrounded me regarding associating genders to me. And after that, I think I have become more of a rebel. Okay, I always shouted before, I always fought before, but I think I lacked logic. But when I know that I'm fighting for a cause at times, I have to logically explain things to people. Okay, and that's why when I argue now, I have my logic ready. I'm more articulated. I am more informed about what I am actually talking about, and otherwise, if I don't know much of it, I just don't talk about it. So I think that's the best change for me over the past few years. And if I just
That
like
is a sign of maturity.
yeah, I think that should come. Like right now, I am 22. I think when
Hmm.
you are 20 plus, it just grows. It just
Yeah.
you understand many things, and that's very much important. But yeah, I think like your question was more about like how a normal day
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
in my
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
So I think it's like a pretty normal human being, like everyone, how you spend, how most other people spend. But the main thing is, yeah, as I mentioned, that I love to move around. So I spend very little time sitting on my chair or lying down on my bed. Okay, apart from the time I'm sleeping, I sleep very less. Initially, I used to sleep a lot. I sleep very less right now because I'm always active. And my podcast, that's the biggest change. Do I have like stayed away from my podcast for the last few months because they have been like really exhausting, but I have used that to like get enough content for me by writing and all that so that I can like get better stuff in the coming future. And yeah, I think that's the biggest part. Moving around, exploring around,
So
studying.
you've developed more of a sense of adventure.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. If it's like a one sentence description, this has to be it.
All right. So you moved from Durgapur, which is a relatively small town, to a metropolitan city in pursuit of higher education. So what was the adjustment period like?
Yeah, I think it it took me some time to adjust. I think, but I think it's still less. Took me 2 months, but to be precise, 2 months. Because I think I came to a city which I have like fallen totally for. I think it will be tough for me to go out of this city, but obviously I will go out because I don't want to stay at a particular place for a long period of time. Okay, it's really the toughest thing for me. But I think this city I have totally fallen in love with, Kolkata. And yeah, I think in Durgapur, the main thing was, as I said, I was never someone who just went out of his place, went out of his house in Durgapur. So I just spent most of the day at my home. And even when I went out sometimes with my parents, I just wanted to go get back home and study or like play. I always loved playing cricket and football and carom, chess when it comes to the indoor games. So I just wanted to do all those things. Okay, so but herein I understood that the amount of creativity which is there in writing or reading, you can actually express that without really doing all those things. You can just walk through the lanes, okay, and discover many things. And that explorer in me actually came out, and it came out precisely after 1.5 or 2 months after I shifted to Kolkata. And after that, it just healed. After that, it was very interesting for me. Since like almost I shifted to Kolkata around July 2019. So around September and all, I got into the groove. And also, like, I see myself as an extrovert. I can like talk to many people. So when I started talking to many people, it just like got better. Okay.
Do
So
you
yeah,
find it
that was
easy
it.
to make friends?
See, I find it easy to talk to people. Friends is a very big umbrella term.
I
So
know, I know, I know. I
yeah.
wanted to make the distinction.
Yeah. I find it easy to talk to people, of course.
Yeah.
But while making friends, it's really tough. I don't know. Like, see, I had a big circle when I used to study in St. Xavier's. Okay. But right now, I can say just I have two friends left from there, whom I can actually call friends, and I can actually think that they can be my friends for the rest of my life. So, yeah. And maybe the same will end up in JU too. So, yeah.
So how did your diverse experiences in different cities and towns shape your perspective on life in general, and also, the main subject that we are discussing today?
Yeah, I think, see, okay, I know I can be like I don't know, but okay, let's be honest about everything. So before 2019, when I was not exposed to many things, okay, I was not like, I'm giving you an example. Just leave aside people from the LGBTQIA plus community. Okay, but I think in Durgapur, I rarely had peers who were not from my religion. Okay, so now you understand how small a world that was. Okay, I didn't
Absolutely.
interact with people who are Christians, who are Muslims or Sikh or any other religion. I am a Hindu, and that is a big thing. And then I came to Xavier's, which is a Christian minority institution. So I had to interact with many people who are Christian, and then I got into the details of that, how they have a very different kind of, you know what I'm talking about. I just don't want to uh,
uh,
talk about
i've
that.
I've had the opposite experience. I've attended Catholic school my whole life, so
Yeah, you have, but you know how conservative they are.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
so I saw that, and the thing is, see, okay, I'm giving you an example of Xavier's. Why I praise Xavier's so much? It's a Christian minority Catholic institution, but it's still, there are many people who just express themselves. I literally, our degree film, the film we made, we had to actually make a film for our degree in our graduation level. So I played a bigender individual in that film. Okay, so they are very much open to that, and that film which you submit, even the the VP, the vice principal, the principal, they also see that. Okay, they never try to rusticate me or give me less marks or anything. So I think that is the amount of welcoming I want people to be. You can have your notions, absolutely. I respect your notions, even though I know it's toxic, but I still do. But you have to be open. You have to be open that people are there for breaking your conventions, and we also need to be open. After 50 years, 100 years, our conventions will also be challenged and broken, maybe.
Yeah.
That's what I seek. That's what I exactly seek. And I think my experiences,
Yeah.
I got
Prog-
more.
prog-
Yeah.
yeah. Oh no, I was just saying that what I was just echoing what you were saying, that progress is a never-ending process.
Yeah, exactly. And I think my experiences increased when I came here, when I came to Kolkata. I actually got to know different kinds of people from different religions, from different communities. Okay. And I got open to that. Initially, before 2019, I can also say that I also made jokes on which were homophobic. Okay. To be honest. But then I understood that that doesn't make any sense. And I think many people, you will find many people making below the belt jokes when they are children. But that is the difference. When you are below 18 and above 18, when you get exposed to the world, you need to understand many things. I still see people making jokes which are homophobic, which are politically incorrect. Right now, when my age
Yeah.
group is 22, so you can say like 20 to 25, the early 20s, people still making those kind of jokes. That
I
that
think
that
yeah,
sucks.
growing up. It's the culture that you're exposed to, and a lot of people just never question it.
Yeah, exactly. Like why will you stay with something which is established in your mind? Why will you not question things? If you
Exactly.
don't question, you won't get an answer. You will just get, okay, this has happened over a period of time, but why has this happened?
Exactly.
Try to know the reason behind that.
Even on a personal level, do you not want to change as a person? Do you not want to evolve?
Yeah, I do. I definitely want to, and I
Exactly.
think everyone should want to like
Everyone should.
evolve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct. So, you mentioned your podcast. Why don't you tell us a little about it?
Yeah, so I think the worst I have seen mentally for myself was in 2021. Okay. Because 2020, if you remember, there was lockdown and all. So
Yeah.
initially, though I wanted to interact with people, though I wanted to go out of my house, but initially I was very much okay with it. Okay, I was living at my home with my parents, just talking over a call with my friends and all. But in 2021, if you remember, like when the death toll also increased, and it was a very devastating situation all over the
The
country,
second wave.
the second wave. Okay.
Yeah.
And it was really hard to go out at that point, and that took a mental toll on me because it's really tough. Like since 2019, when I have like moved away, I want to be free always, and at that point I couldn't be free. Okay. So that took a mental toll on me, and I was like, I can say literally, I think depressed will be a very wrong term because I was not clinically that was not clinically proven, but I was very sad at that
No,
time.
but
That was like,
even if you don't have clinical depression, you can still feel depressed.
yeah, basically I can say that I felt depressed at that point. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that was basically to describe that point was my mental lowest. Okay. So I wanted to do something. Okay. I wanted to be productive, and I like the best way to be productive according to me was talking to myself. Okay. So every night I just looked at the mirror, talked to myself. I wanted to know what's exactly in my mind. Okay. And from there, I conceptualize the fact that okay, I talk with my mind, which has things which may be very much conservative, which may be according to the conventions, but then real me, which is there in front, challenging everything, that is totally different from what exactly my mind thinks. My mind thinks what is the first impression. Okay, like initially I have grown up with a particular set of beliefs, so when my mind firstly sees that, then it will believe that. Okay, but later on, when I will see that properly, I will think about it. I will know that, okay, no, what my mind is thinking is not exactly what it should think. Okay. So this tussle between me and my mind actually gave birth to me versus mind. Okay. So now when it comes to, I can give you an example. I had an episode about marriage. Okay. So the marriage conventions which are like set in my mind, I tried to challenge it by myself. Okay. Right. Basically, the me is me growing up with experiences. the me which is right now, me which has actually got the diverse experiences, the question you asked to me, how it has shaped my opinion about things in the later half of my life. Okay. And with the opinion which has been said by the society for a good amount of time, like for the 18, 19 years of my life. Okay, so it's basically a tussle between the two, and I try to challenge my mind. That's about the show, and it actually came from the most depressive phase of my life. So, yeah,
You know, lotuses bloom out of mud.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's exactly what happened at that point because I had to do something. I was like feeling so disgusted. Let's be honest. I never got suicidal thoughts ever in my life, but at that point, I felt like dumping my head somewhere and like killing myself. Okay.
I think a lot
So,
of people felt that way during that period.
yeah, and I think uh, I I think I was mentally strong enough to use that for a good cause, which actually helped me. Right now, I have 100 plus episodes of my podcast. So
Yeah,
it all happened due to that phase. I think I can just like I don't want to set myself as an example, but what I want to say to people who are listening to this episode today is that you will get such phases. Just try to use that in a good manner. You have a lot in yourself. Just don't let it go to waste. That's it.
right.
Everyone
So,
has. Let's be
right.
honest. Like everyone has something or the other which they can offer to this world.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, hosting a podcast and sporting unconventional aesthetics are both things that require immense amounts of confidence. So, where do you draw your confidence from?
I think the confidence thing comes from interacting with people. Okay, like people give me energy, and when I talk to people, I because if you have listened to my podcasts, basically it is about my experiences itself. I don't like try to research much about something or the other. Okay, I just like I see things around me. I talk to people and I try to get the information about a certain thing, how they think about a particular thing. I don't interview people, but like I try to read their minds, how they are approaching a particular thing. Okay, and this energy basically comes from interacting with people itself. And yeah, many a times it actually it's difficult to interact with many people, but it's not always about the verbal interaction. It's about like uh, how they're behaving at a particular situation. Okay,
Yeah,
and like
you can read the
uh,
vibes.
yeah, exactly. The thing that I go to many places. So I spend a lot of time in the like maybe the roadside tea shop. So I see people coming, giving their opinion about a particular thing. Okay, this government is bad. This thing is bad. This is a very good approach to something. Can I try to impact that? Like I try to implement that in my podcast or my way of writing stories or any kind of thing I do. So yes, that's how I try to gain my confidence. And see, I think when you talked about the confidence thing, it actually came from one point. I must share that. Like initially, when I was fat, okay, I was very close to becoming obese at one point. I weighed around 80 kilos in class 9. Okay. And then I thought that I had to like lose weight. Okay. People trolled me for that, but not due to that, but I just wanted to lose weight. And when I lost weight, I got back that confidence. But again, when I lost weight, I lost too much weight. So now some people tell that, okay, you look like a stick or something like that. So this
I
made
mean,
me
people will
realize that,
always have something to say
yeah,
about.
exactly. This actually made me realize that whatever you are, people will say, okay,
Yeah,
whatever. And should not care about that.
yeah.
Okay. If they are just judging me, but by how I look, okay, if I'm fat or if I'm slim, they are judging me by how I look, then that doesn't make any sense. You talk to me, you think I'm a good person, you can continue talking to me and like uh, what can I say, strengthen your thoughts about how I am as a person. That makes sense, but you just judging me on the appearance means that like with all due respect, you don't know anything. Okay, and so yes, that's the
Fair
point.
enough.
Yeah.
So, have you ever seen your podcast as a way of changing the world so that others don't have to go through the struggles that you had to go through?
Yeah, exactly. Also when you talk about struggles, I must also like include one or two more stories that like when people think that I'm unconventionally beautiful and all that, right? So I see women, I see men particularly giving stares regularly. Like when I go out, like because of how I look or because of how I dress, they just keep staring on a regular basis, which I not necessarily like, but I have kind of got immune to that. Okay, it's fine. Like if you want to stare, you can. Though staring as a whole is a very bad thing you can do. You can just, I think, a good way is if you are appreciating someone, you can just go straight up and appreciate that person. That's the better thing, which I also try to do many a times. Or
Yeah,
otherwise, you
yeah,
just just can move away from there. So that's it. And yeah, coming to your question, mm, I think, see, I know that I can't change the world, but as I initially said, that I can change the mini world, which is the world around me.
mm,
Like everything begins at home. Okay, if I can just start with baby steps, like impacting the world around me, that
mm.
means a lot. That makes a lot of sense to me, and I
Yeah,
think that is what you can do. Okay, see, you are doing something with this. You are with Queer Diaries. You are trying to bring a change. You are trying to collect the experiences of people who have faced some kind of struggle in their life,
mm,
and obviously it can't impact the whole world, but it can impact
mm.
certain people. They can again impact other people, and this is how I think we can bring a change all together. And I think that's my mantra. That my mantra is just like impacting the people around me. If they
Yeah,
understand things, obviously they will make others understand. Everybody can't listen to my podcast. That's okay. Okay. And I just want people to think that these are not unconventional. I don't want compliments like you are unconventionally beautiful. No,
mm,
you can think I'm ugly, that's all right. You can think I'm beautiful, that's all right. But there's nothing like unconventionally beautiful.
mm.
That's it.
Yeah. Also, when you were talking about, nobody can change the whole world. It reminds me of this Pat the Bunny song, which had a line that went something along the lines of, "There is no song that changed the world, but I know a few that changed mine."
Yeah, true. But also, like, I may say that I can change the mini world
Yeah,
which is surrounding me, but I
yeah,
would love to change the whole world. Like, I think we all should like have that confidence that we can create
yeah,
a big impact,
yeah.
because you should think big. Of course, you should think big.
Hmm. You know, aim for the moon, you'll land among the stars.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think we
Right.
should have that confidence in ourselves that we can bring a change, and we can create an impact, because otherwise the confidence or whatever I'm talking about makes no sense. Right now, if I think that, okay, I can just change some people's opinion, I just leave it there. Uh, a very clear cut thinking is very much important about what
Yeah.
you seek. And I think what I seek right now is that uh, anything I do, anything people do, which is unconventional, should not be treated as unconventional. And be accepting to everything, be welcoming to everything.
Absolutely.
uh, yeah, like people from any community, people from like you can't associate clothes to a gender, you can't associate behavior, you can't associate your hair length. Like, these are the weirdest things people
Hmm.
associate with genders.
Yeah.
Okay. And today only one of my friend, I went out with one of my friend, she said that, okay, like uh, I think people are not attracted to women when they cut their hair. Okay, because like people associate a manliness with women who have like boy cut hair or something
Okay.
like that.
First of all, hard disagree. I think women with short hair look absolutely stunning. But I know that's not the point that's being made here, but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. See, I also think the same. I am also like attracted to women with short hair. But the
yeah,
point is, you can't deny one thing, that they will be treated as more manly. Okay, and
yeah.
what is a boy cut? I have seen
Yeah.
people using terms like boycott. What is a boycott? What's that? Yeah.
All right. So, another question I had. You said one of the few masculine traits, one of the few masculine aspects of your personality is that you're really into sports. And sports is something that is typically associated with hypermasculinity. Do you ever feel an internal conflict between your love for football and your rejection of heteronormativity?
See, I am someone who actually loves sports a lot. Okay, like I see sports irrespective of the gender. Like many people who are football fans, they don't even know that a women's World Cup exists. I was today
Yeah.
watching the match. Okay, we
Yeah.
had a final today of the women's World Cup between Australia and Spain. Sorry, Spain
Which is
and England.
actually quite unfortunate. The fact
Yeah.
that people don't care about women's.
So that is something which many actually people who see them as football fans, even many women who see
Hmm.
themselves as football fans, don't know that a women's football exists.
Hmm.
Okay, but I think I am someone who watches every kind of sport, irrespective of the gender: women's football, men's football, every kind of individual sports. Okay, so I think that thing, that tussle you are talking about between hyper masculinity and this, it actually comes, it doesn't come to play for me.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Also, another funny thing about bigots being hypocritical that I just remembered is that, you know, someone who is bigoted will never care about women's sports until a trans woman is participating.
Yeah, of course, of course. Only then
Yeah,
that person is gonna write paragraphs on social media
yeah,
about how this is
paragraphs after
harmful.
paragraphs.
Yeah.
All right, so do you feel after all this turmoil that has been going on in your life recently, do you feel comfortable and at peace with yourself and how you present yourself now?
Yes, absolutely. Like as I mentioned that there's a little healing process, because I was supposed to believe that this is wrong. Okay, what I was doing, being expressive with everything. Okay, but I'm like coming into terms again. I think I have already come to terms again with the fact that it's not at all wrong. This is my way of expressing myself, and I
Yeah,
should do that. I should proudly do that.
yeah,
I should not care about who is saying what. As I said, like until I do something illegal, why should I care?
exactly.
So exactly, this is my way of expressing myself. I love that. I love that, and that's the most important thing.
Hmm.
So if
Tragically,
someone wants,
tragically, tragically, expressing yourself and dressing the way you want is also illegal in a lot of places.
yeah,
But
exactly.
that's like a whole other thing. We can't get into that right
That's a big
now.
discussion. That would be an entire episode if
That's
you
yeah,
like
that's an
start talking
entire
about it.
episode.
Yeah.
So finally, what's your favorite article of clothing or accessory that you own?
See, the point is, some of them, like many of them, are burnt, so I can't bring them.
Oh, oh no.
That was a troll. But anyway, I kind of knew that you were gonna ask this question, so I have that ready. I mentioned the tie and dye pants, so yeah, I have it ready. The
Oh, that
biggest thing is like it also has a this belt. Okay, this is a blue
yeah,
belt,
yeah,
and this is actually my mother's. Okay, she just gave it to
right.
me. That's, I think, that's what I was talking about. That your family is supportive of something, then
Can
who are
we
the
can
other
we
people? Like
can you show it to us again?
the belt or the pant.
Uh,
Yeah,
the, both. Oh, that's
yeah. So
fantastic.
this is the design. This is the design. Like
Oh,
it
I
has
love the
some.
design, and the belt
Yeah,
goes really great with it.
yeah. Okay, I can use that belt like at any place. So that's the thing. Like, yeah, I love these kind of clothes. I also love the leopard print shirt, as I mentioned, and yeah, and the accessories which were burnt. Sorry.
It's okay. It's
Yeah,
time
I
to
can
build.
get them
Time
again.
to
That's not a problem. I
yeah,
can
yeah.
get them
Time
again.
to rediscover your aesthetic.
Yes, absolutely. I can like what I want to do is like I feel free about what I want to wear. I can have many
Yeah,
more choices. And I
yeah, yeah.
also wear things which are masculine by the standards of the society. So I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
want
of
to
course.
keep the way open, that I
Yeah,
can
yeah,
dress up
yeah.
as anything as I want. That's the whole
Hmm.
point.
Hmm. All right, Brutto, it's been absolutely fantastic having you on the show. Thank you so much for being a guest.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I love this, and I could actually express many things which I have not over a period of time because of various reasons. And I just told like certain things I have never shared with people in the past. I could in this show because I felt free, and I think that's what is very important. That you should feel free expressing yourself verbally,
I'm,
physically, through your fashion, anything. Just feel
yeah.
free. That
All right. To those watching, if you want to check out Broto's podcast, the link will be in the description. And please like and share this video and subscribe to the mesh for more upcoming content.